Hello, my beautiful YouTube family. Again, welcome back to Roger's Land Between the Lakes channel. All the glory to God, always. This isn't going to be a Inhumanoid related video. It's going to be something a little different. It's a true story that I'm just going to hit real lightly on and make it quick. Um, but there is still, like anything else, going to be controversy behind, I guess, the outcome or what actually happened, and of course conspiracy theories as well. But a lot of you don't know this. There's one in particular person that does. But I have always been, I don't want to say obsessed, but very interested in the Appalachia culture and the people, and the reason being is because that's where my ancestry originally came from, around Roanoke. And I know I've was born and raised and spent most of my mid-teens in the state of Iowa. Then in 1985 moved up here to Minnesota, as you know. So I'm just flat out a northern boy, unfortunately. All right, but I've always had that Appalachia in my heart. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I've always had that calling. Um, and I study on it a lot. I try to enrich myself with the culture, and I just love, even though I really haven't met any people that are right from Appalachia area. I just love the people, love their culture. They're just, I mean, they're the way people should be. A lot of people call them hillbillies, rednecks, backwards, inbreds, whatever, just nasty, nasty shit. But they're actually the ones that are probably going to inherit this shithole earth when it goes back, is cleansed, I believe, one more time by our Lord and Savior, and given back for the last time. But I go through different YouTube channels and stuff like that. I just, like anybody else, just, you Google Appalachia history, whatever. And I do the same thing on YouTube. And I ran across a certain YouTube channel that I was interested in. I won't give it out because I did not get the creator's permission, and I just don't want people that obviously disagree with me in general, harassing their particular channel. But this had to do with a disappearance of a hiker back in 2013, and her name is Geraldine Largay. And you can look it up, but it was on national news and everything, and they end up finding her body sometime in 2015. Anyway, how this all comes full circle is, and I don't do this very often on other people's channels, especially channels I'm normally not associated with, so to speak. But I made a comment in the comment section about this happening. Could there be something else behind her disappearance other than her just wandering too far off the trail to find a place to go to the bathroom and then getting lost? That's kind of what the conclusion was, anyway. But I made that comment, see if I can get any bites or any conversations, and I got one that I really didn't want, but it kind of led to this. And it's also going to be part of I guess one of my stories I'll be telling you that the person wanted me to tell. This person's name is Trenton, by the way, and he responded because for some odd reason, he kind of knew about my happenings, my event at the Land Between the Lakes in 1982, and he goes, "Wait a minute." He goes, "Are you that guy?" And I put a couple question marks, that guy, and he goes, um, "The survivor from the Land Between the Lakes attacks by the what he called a wolf man." So, yeah, anyway, I responded, and told him, kind of a little bit about the story. If you wanted to, come to my channel, check it out. But, definitely wasn't a wolf man. So anyway, on and on, he goes, hey, can I talk to you, PM me, which I guess is private message. And I said, well, here's my email. I send it out there. Email me if you want, and then we'll chat. And then, like everybody else, if I feel comfortable with you, you can, we'll chat on the phone, which I do most of the people that I have email me. So anyway, this Trenton and his cousin, and he doesn't want to give his name out, which I understand, but they were actually camping not too far from Reddington. I think he said it was Reddington Pond, or some people call him Reddington Lake, where this Geraldine Largay was found. Now, this is what's interesting. I guess it was like in July or August or something like that. 2013 is when she actually was had disappeared. And I've looked it up on the map, and he's right that this Reddington Lake isn't that far from where they actually found her body. I mean, not far at all. But what the interesting thing is, he said that they were there for 2 or 3 nights, just hanging out by that lake. And he said technically they shouldn't even have been there, but anyway, they were kind of camped out, and just there was no drug or alcohol or anything like that involved in this. And I mean, because they were fairly young, teenish at the time, early. And he said, there's and you, all of you out there that have actually been in actual wilderness at night will understand what I'm about to say. And there's a transition that happens from day to night, and I call it the passing of the torch. Not so much down in Iowa, because it's not super dense, but like up here in Minnesota and other places that have real dense forestry. At night, and it seems like it always happens like, midnight, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, the forest comes alive, and especially when it's super quiet. And when it's in a dense forest like that, it's super quiet, and things come alive. And by that I mean you can hear the ground move. Now, a lot of that is worms, beetles, mice, snake. I mean, everything you can think of. And it just sounds like the earth underneath you is crawling, and it fills it. And of course, there's the insect population. But right before that, when it gets dark, the birds kind of stop, and you don't hear anything for a few hours. And that's the passing of the torch, I call it, or that transition from basically day creatures to night creatures. Then like I said, 11 midnight to 1, 2, whatever, depending on where you're at, it comes to life again. Well, they were in that transition time back in July, and they were just sitting on a couple stumps, had a small fire going, and they could clearly hear what sounded. Now, in the dense forest, things are muffled, but it sounds different. And there again, you people that have been in this situation, will know. Sometimes it almost sounds like it's in a hallway. It's like you're yelling down, through a tube. One of those old cardboard tubes that come off of a, paper towel roll. And that's kind of what it sounds like if you're in the right area. Well, they distinctly heard. Just for a short period of time. It was like a minute or 2 minutes, he said, where they heard a male and a female, what sounded like in a loud discussion or an argument. Okay, now that's really odd, people out in the middle of nowhere like that. And if you look it up on the map, this Reddington Lake, it isn't that far from a community as well. So, and there again, I want to. I'm not putting my stamp on any of this as being legit. I'm just, to me it sounds plausible, but I have no proof of this other than what this gentleman's telling me. But there is a small community. If you look up, and there's just a sporadic, houses and cul-de-sacs and things like that. But he claims that there's no way he thought it could be coming from that direction, because they were actually looking at the direction of where these two voices were coming from. So here comes the conspiracy part of it, if it even happened. And I don't know if they looked into the husband at all. I'm sure they did, but didn't find anything on him, obviously. But the whole thing was really strange, because she was, first of all, how do you wander off 2 miles off the Appalachian Trail to go to the bathroom? I know female, I guess, you want to be a little bit more private, even though you're in the middle of nowhere and stuff. I get it. But there had to be a specific reason for her wandering that far off the trail just to go to the bathroom. And it shows all the text, too, of her husband. I guess she's relaying to her husband, hey, gonna go to the bathroom, got lost, blah, blah, blah. So that's first thing that's odd to me. You don't go that far off the trail just to go to the bathroom. And then some of the law enforcement people and searchers afterwards had said that they had walked it after this was in 2015 after the body was found, that she was really not that far. I mean, a couple hundred yards from a logging road. And they're, again, not that far from the small, tiny community of Reddington. Now, I get it. Thick, dense timber, you feel like you're lost, you ain't going anywhere. You walk a quarter of a mile and you think you've been 5 miles, and that's the way it feels. But you could hear things, and they were out there with dogs. Now, 3 times they came within 100 yards, of her while she was alive. And the dogs kind of thought they were onto something, but they weren't for sure. They didn't follow up on it. I mean, it's just a whole strange thing. But they admitted this. They were within 100 yards of her 3 times. Why she didn't yell out, because she was still very, very aware at this time. Excuse me. And, why they didn't go farther. They knew the dog was kind of onto something. Why they didn't, take a little farther. So, you can twist it into, it's one of those stories, you can twist it into whatever you want. But I think it's very interesting. I hope you people kind of look into it. There's a lot of those stories, actually, that happened off the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine. And but I'm going to dig into it more and learn more about it. But this gentleman that was actually, supposedly, he claims that he thinks he probably heard her and possibly her husband or another male arguing. But I don't think in the autopsy or anything like that there was any foul play going on. At least I haven't found any as of yet. So her skull wasn't bashed in or anything like that. Or if they're hiding it, obviously they're not going to release that. But they said there was no foul play. She just starved to death. And there was some notes and things like that found as well. But on her part, it is very strange that she didn't, why she stayed in place. Now, she stayed in place for 26 days or more. Tell me why she did that. That's real strange. If she got lost, she could have got her bearings back a little bit. And even if she didn't, she couldn't get, just walking. I mean, she obviously would have gotten deeper if she was kept going, north or whatever. But 26 days, excuse me, she could have come out somewhere. She would have, I mean, even the analysts say that, if she would have walked, fairly solid for even 2 days, she would have come on to some old logging roads that would have led right back to the Appalachian Trail, or to a small community, or lodging, they said, to lodge. So, there's different lodges, I think, or shelters built along the Appalachian Trail system. So, either way, my goal now is to find out why she stayed in place for 26 days. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So was she actually, was there an argument, and maybe whatever, he gut punched her too hard, hit her with something and in the internals, where she was incapacitated and died slowly. I don't know. This is all speculation, but I know, myself. There is no way. I might stay a day or two in one place, see if somebody's come by, and if that didn't work, man, I'd be gone. I would be doing something. Uh, and it also said that she had lit had made some fires because there was actually trees outside of where she was sleeping, outside of her camp, that were charred around the bottom. So I believe, which is a good idea, dangerous but a good idea. I believe she was trying to start some kind of a fire to get somebody's attention or something. So, but it all happened at the lower, at the base of these trees, and they really didn't get going. So I don't know. There again, was she only being able to crawl around on her stomach, couldn't stand up or something? So she was, lighting these. Trying to light these trees on fire from the base, and yeah, I know that's where you'd normally light a tree on fire. I get it, but that just seemed kind of odd too. So um, I guess anything in the comments, no need really. Just study it for yourself. I just thought that would be neat that I actually talked to somebody that claims to have been, by the way it sounds, within, you know, 300-400 yards, or yeah, 3 or 4, maybe 500 yards from her, at least 2 of the nights. And one of the nights they did hear a female and a male loud conversation going on. So check it out, people. Might solve something. And the other thing is, I want to make this very clear with everything that's going on. And I don't need to say what. I'm sure you people know. I'm People are trying to drag me into this by I don't know how to say it, but I mean, trolls pretending that they're interested in my story. Then they start asking about what's going on and this and that. And thank God I have supporters and subscribers that are catching this for me, because I don't have social media, so they're relaying things back to me. But um, I'm not getting dragged into this. This is what I will tell you, people, is everybody knows that I 100% support and stand behind Barton and Tish Nunley. They're great people. They have Bart has stood by my side when other people were whispering lies in my ears about them and making me turn on them and wonder, if the friendship was real. And that's I don't need to go into that, but we've squared that away, and I admitted my guilt on that 100%. But um, I'm going to ask you people to do this. If you're not subscribed to Barton Nunley's Inhumanoid channel, please do so. And if you feel you have too many subscriptions already, you're subscribed to too many channels, please delete mine, unsubscribe from me, and please make that subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for Barton's channel. I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not in need of subscribers and things like that, so I would really appreciate that, or at least subscribe to them and start listening to live chats and get in there and hit the like button for them. This is it's really strange. It's hard to say exactly what is going on, but there's something spiritual. There's something evil in the air, I'll say that, and I don't know what it is. And that's something that has been being said by many people for a couple months now. It feels like a pressure cooker, even though nothing was real obvious. You could just feel the evilness and the badness in the air. So. And finally, I guess this all popped off, and like I said, people are trying to drag me into it, thinking I did this or that, and absolutely 100% not. My word is 100% gold, and the people out there know who I'm talking to, either friend or foe. I give you my word, it's gold. It ain't going to happen. It's never been broke. I have never broken it, and I won't. I just won't. If I give my word to my worst enemy, I will not break it. So I'm telling you, people, and people out there listening on the other side will say, hate me all you want, but my word is a rock, and it will never ever be busted. As always, people, God bless, Godspeed, and we'll chat again.